Hi, my name is Taran Singh, and I am the Director of Taran3D Limited. We are a creative 3D agency based in Birmingham, and we produce interactive content for touchscreens and immersive technologies like augmented and virtual reality. Since the pandemic started, we started our business 6 months before the pandemic hit and the lockdown in March. And since that time, we've actually grown as a business quite significantly, adding a business manager, a marketing consultant, a 3D designer, and also a project manager as well. Despite the lockdown, we were able to win work across international lines. So we won work from America and Canada, and we picked up the Outstanding Startup Business of the Year award at the Asian Business of Commerce Chamber Awards in 2020. A little bit about myself. I started off as a 3D artist and a 3D CAD specialist. I didn't have any formal education. I'm pretty self-taught, and I don't have any GCSEs. I didn't really do well out of school. My passion in 3D and creative design came a bit afterwards when I started looking at sculpting and digital design. A little bit of the work that I've done digital visualizations of the new Street station. I've done work in architecture, interior design, and I have a passion for sculpting as well. I really believe that traditional art skills are very important in digital creativity. And I think those traditional skills brought into the creative industries work fantastically. This is some examples of some of the work I've done, some of the 3D modeling, digital sculpting, creative work. I have a passion for recreating 3D objects in high detail with looking at materials, composition, applying those traditional sort of art skills, but in a digital space. The technologies that we cover in our business range from 3D modeling, digital sculpting, through 3D scanning, 3D printing, and into immersive technologies like VR headsets and augmented reality for mobile devices. So let me share a little bit of the work that we've done over the last year with our promo reel. That's some of the work that we've done over the past year. I'd also like to share some of the work that we've done in architecture for various companies around the West Midlands, creating lighting simulation engineering applications, which look at energy usage, allowing clients to actually interact with the spaces and see the effect that the light and the energy will have on their spaces. We've also pioneered the use of VR in architecture, looking at ways of exploring buildings, exploring interior designs, residential or old people's homes, using VR technology, allowing people to immerse themselves within the space. One of the other ways that we have been innovating is looking at manufacturing. We were able to work with an American company that manufactures server slide, and we were able to kind of animate and show the capabilities of their new product. We also act as a VR consultancy, helping companies around the West Midlands utilize VR technology in their businesses. So to that end, we provide them with VR environments, we provide them with training. We're also able to provide them with avatars and vehicles and asset models that help them to sort of visualize their products and their environments. We also got to work with a Canadian company who were looking at redesigning their whole fleet of fuel trucks, and they were having quite a few issues kind of getting sign off on their vehicle wrap designs. We were able to visualize all their vehicles, put them into a VR application, and allow the client to actually walk around the vehicles, seeing the wrap design and being able to compare different versions of the design. And they were able to get a record sign off on the design of their work. The other way that we've been innovating over the last year, especially due to COVID, is because museums were shut down, we were able to get access to the different museums, such as the Victoria and Albert Museum and the Royal Armouries in Leeds. We were able to get into their stores, photograph artifacts that are not readily available or on display. We were able to digitize these objects in 3D, recreate them quite accurately, and actually create virtual relics that can be explored using touchscreen. And these were available also online as well, so people could link onto a website and view all of these objects, allowing people to access objects that aren't readily available or because the museums were closed. We were also able to put these objects into virtual reality, and we could then give access to these to children, and they can put on a VR headset and actually pick up these objects. So whereas normally at a museum, they're not able to pick up these objects, we could actually put them into an environment and allow them to pick up any object, any sword, any item, and observe it and learn about it. We were also able to kind of create quite detailed 3D animations of these objects as well. This was an experiment for Royal Armoury Leeds, where they wanted to see if we could produce a digital animation without having to have a film crew come in and do a studio filming scene. So we were able to use digital objects to actually reproduce these items. We were also able to set up augmented reality exhibits, allowing people to kind of show their objects on big screens, allowing anyone to come into a museum and play around with these objects. We were also able to put these on tablets so that young people could actually kind of, you know, play around with these objects, explore these objects, and hear kind of feedback and information about these objects. We were able to take these around the country and kind of have them engage with these heritage objects in really new ways, different ways, and engaging people who aren't normally interested in, you know, history, engaging them with the objects and allowing them to kind of learn in a very kind of immersive way. We also were asked by the Commonwealth Games if we could produce, do something with their mascot, allow people to engage with the mascot during the lockdown. We were able to 3D model the mascot, create an interactive application allowing you to explore Perry, the mascot, and also we also pioneered an augmented reality version of Perry that you can see here, where people could use social media and Instagram filters to kind of experience Perry, put him into their own environment, and actually kind of take a photograph with him and post it on social media. And this was fantastic because it just drove that engagement with the Commonwealth Games. We've also been pioneering sort of motion capture for kind of VR performances, allowing kind of VR to be used to experience theatre experiences. So we can capture an actor's performance and then apply it to a VR character that you can then stand in front of and interact with. So we've taken this sort of our sculpting and art experience into the 3D world, and we are creating characters for fashion. We are doing visualizations for statue designs, and we were able to kind of produce these characters and animate them, you know, for these purposes. We were also during the pandemic, we found that, you know, a lot of artists, especially in Birmingham, were unable to share their artwork. So we actually created a virtual online art exhibition that you can see on the top right here, where you can go on a web page and you can actually walk around this virtual exhibition. And not only that, we actually put in some audio spots. So as you get close to the artwork, you can actually hear the artist's voice speaking to you and telling you about the work that they produced and what it means to them, and basically their experience during lockdown. So that was an amazing sort of virtual experience that we created there, and that we did on a voluntary basis to help artists share their work. We were also asked by Tin Smart Social, which is a training company. They were struggling to kind of onboard and engage young people. Usually it was done in person, you know, in their offices. And because they weren't able to do that, we were able to create a sort of virtual game that they can play online. And it basically, it tests their teamwork. So they'd have to get the clues together. They'd have to work out how to escape this room. And as part of this project, we actually scanned in the CEO of the company. We were able to digitize him and actually put him actually into the game. So the kids were interviewed actually by the actual CEO of the company in the game. We were also a part of the UK Space Agency Accelerator, which is a program run by Entrepreneurial Spark to introduce new businesses into the space sector. We were able to go in there, and we are actually working with a company called Odin Space, which is a way who are pioneering a new satellite system that can actually track debris in space. And so we are visualizing and creating a visual animation for them, which shows how their product works. We were also asked by Steamhouse in Birmingham, which is BCU's makerspace. They were running a VR event, which wasn't doing very well. And we were able to come in and take over this for 6 months and kind of bring it back to a successful event. And what we did was we realized that it's not really about technology, it's actually about human stories. And we have this motto where, you know, we're not really that excited by technology. We're actually more excited by what creative people are going to do with it. So when we kind of designed the format for this VR Birmingham event, we decided to make it about interesting people doing interesting things with VR. So each month we picked a great project from looking at heritage, looking at arts, looking at education, looking at film and TV, and we were able to create this great monthly event, which was run online during the pandemic. And we went from 4.6 to 4.8 out of 5 stars for this event. And we had a lot of great feedback. People are really starting to engage it, because normal VR events are usually quite boring and very technical. And we were able to make it very interesting and exciting and easy to understand and accessible. We will also do a lot of teaching. So we taught, we were teaching at the Steamhouse courses on creating immersive digital environments, and also digital sculpting classes as well. So these were, obviously they were running in the Steamhouse before the lockdown, but during the lockdown, we were able to kind of move all of our training into sort of this online space. Now, because we work in the VR space, we're all about kind of, our motto is making immersive technology accessible for all. We were approached by an organization called Neo Enterprise, and they had the idea of creating this boot camp, which is aimed at bringing more Black women into the VR sector. So we created this 16-week boot camp, which is currently running online, and here is the video for it. So that's our immersive bootcamp that we're currently running, and it's going very well. Trained in VR and AR and are able to go out there, and we will be helping them to gain employment. This is one of our mottos, supporting immersive technology for all. We don't think immersive technology is just for technical people. We actually think that everyone should have access to it. And for me personally, innovation is about creativity and education. It's about inspiring the next generation and opening minds to the possibilities that could become reality in the future. Innovation is about sparking interests and ideas mixed with dreams and hopes and having the drive to make things happen. Thank you for letting me submit, and I look forward to the event. Thank you.